What's going on, everybody? We're back with another video, continuing this series as we break down each and every NBA team. Today we got one of the more mediocre teams in the league, so that right there lets you know my opinion about this team a little bit. But we got the Detroit Pistons. This team's got a lot of young players. I do think they do have a good future. They've got Cade Cunningham that they just drafted with the first overall pick. I think this dude's going to be a very good player, all-star level talent, but he's going to have to take a couple years to develop, adjust to the NBA. But I really feel like Cade's got a really smooth game. He can really create his own shot. He can get to the basket. He can distribute the ball decently well. He's a big guard, about 6'6", 6'7". So he can do it all. He's just going to have to take the time to adjust to the NBA game and get the feel for the game. Another young guy they got coming back from last season is Sadiq Bay. Solid three-point shooter for a rookie. He can score. He can defend very well. One of my buddies told me that this dude was going to be good. I had no idea who Sadiq Bay was coming into last season, but he definitely impressed last year, and I think he's going to continue to build off of that on this team. There's a lot of leeway, a lot of open space for young players to come into this team and really create their own and really develop here, just because there doesn't seem to be too much direction right now other than getting young talent in, getting them developed, and then starting that winning culture. It doesn't seem like the winning culture is there yet. Another young guy that they got is Stewart, 6'8" center, so a little on the smaller side. But he really started to develop last year, really broke out, and he started having a good year. Him and Sadiq Bay both kind of got hotter in that second half of the season. So we'll see what that little trio does of Cade, Sadiq Bay, and Stewart. One player they got returning from last season is Jeremy Grant. He had an incredible season last year, best season we've seen him produce in his career. Top 3 candidate for most improved player of the year, but Julius Randle beat him out for that. Just like last video, we talked about Michael Porter Jr. Jeremy Grant had improved numbers in almost every category last season, but he was just on such a bad team that I don't think it really mattered as far as voting for that award goes. But he went up 10 points per game. Dude just looked like a very good option to have scoring the ball. I think he could go to a contender at some point soon, whether it be this season before the deadline, whether it be next off season. But I do see Jeremy Grant eventually getting traded, the Pistons getting more assets, and Grant becoming the second or third option on a championship contending team. He was someone that I really wanted the Celtics to get at the deadline last year, but that did not happen. We had the funds and everything for it, especially with the trade exception that we had, but we just didn't make the move for him. Whatever reason it was, Detroit didn't want to move him, or we just didn't want to give up the assets to get him. I don't know. But Jeremy Grant, very great player, really broke out in Detroit last year. So that's really all I got to say about this team. Is they got some youth, they don't have too much direction, and then they got Jeremy Grant, which can be a trade piece, or he can just be a good veteran that really knows how to score the ball already and can help pour into these younger guys. One player I did almost forget is Killian Hayes. He's another young guy. Seems to be their point guard, shooting guard of the future next to Cade Cunningham. At least that's what they want him to be. He had a very poor season last year, especially shooting the ball. But I know Killian Hayes fans especially want him to come out here and succeed this season. Detroit Pistons fans, I'm sure, want to see that because they don't want to see these picks and these very bad years that they're having get wasted. So we'll see what Killian can come out and do, see if maybe he can bounce back and have a good season now that he's more acclimated to the league. But my predictions for this team, I think this is about a 20 to 25 win team. They've had 20 wins the past 2 seasons, although those have not been full seasons with COVID and with the shortened season last year. But that was just kind of an extension of COVID. But they've only posted 20 wins each in the past 2 seasons. I think this is another 20 to 25 win season for them. I think they keep at the bottom of the league. I think they're going to be down there with the Cleveland Cavaliers that we talked about. And this is easily going to be a top 5 draft pick in in the draft this upcoming year. Haven't looked at their draft picks, but I hope they have it because they're going to need it. But that's what I got for this team. I hope they let Cade develop and just play his game and let him get acclimated to the league, because I do think Cade's going to be one of those talents that we look back in 5 to 10 years and we're like, holy crap, this dude was good. He's going to be a number 1 pick that we're like, this was the steal of the draft. I know that's not possible because you can't pick anyone higher or pick him higher than that. But he's one of those talents. He's a generational talent. And he's going to be fun to watch in this league. So keep watching your Pistons games every now and then when you get them on national TV, just so you can watch Cade. And he's got a little crew around him. Hopefully everyone steps up again this year. Like I said, Sadiq Bay, Isaiah Stewart, both young guys that can develop with him. And then Jeremy Grant's going to go out there and get his 20, 25 a game, get his buckets in, and do his thing out there. So Pistons, not too exciting to talk about. Shorter video than the rest of them have been. But that's all I got about them. So I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.